better between Immortals Gareth Bale or Immortals Zambrotta? Well, you're gonna learn that in this video, as this will be a 2-in-1, a player review and a player comparison, so you can figure out whether you should buy these cards and if the cards are even good or not. And we'll be using multiple categories to compare these cards, so make sure you pay attention to all of them. Now, before we get into the very important information about this video, take a look at this. If you are looking to buy cheap and safe and reliable coin, go over to U7Buy and use code CV3 for 8% off. Link is in the description or link is in the comments to get cheap and safe coins so you can get the cards you want in the game. CV3. So first, let's talk about the price. Now look here, picture it like this. We'll start off with Zambrotta, then we'll move to Bale. If you're a track athlete and you're sprinting through with tremendous pace, which would be Zambrotta, right? The thing about him is he's pretty quick, I'll say that, but there could be moments where your opponent will be able to catch up to him or burn past him just by a little bit because his pace isn't the craziest, as he doesn't have quick step, but he only has rapido, regular. Now you might get caught up too. Now let's hope Zambrotta's not going to turn into that girl with the baton. His pace is still pretty solid. But what about Gareth Bale? I'll put it this way. That's what I think when he runs in this game, because this guy can really turn on the absolute jest speed boost, get past the defense when it comes to pushing forward on the attack in the left back position. Also, being able to catch up to your opponents that are trying to get past you as a defender, because he has jockey plus with rapid plus, which is a very deadly combo. So for the pace, I'm gonna have to give it to Gareth Bale. Now these are fullbacks, so defense is one of the most important things, but also the dribbling ability in my opinion. And we'll get to those things, but first let's just get to the stuff that are not as important but still important for a fullback. But there are moments in the game where you're gonna have to turn into the Hulk, no? Yes, you need that strength and physicality, because you will go against the actual attacking Gareth Bales of the world that think they're Thanos and body off your left backs and right backs if they're super weak. Or Rafael Smile, that's also super strong in this game. So is these fullbacks strong enough to hold off some of these attackers? When I use Gareth Bale, let me put it this way, I was like, oh my goodness, but that can mean two different things, horrendous or good. Now for me, I didn't find Gareth Bale moving like a puss in boots, especially because they did make his physical quite low for a left back, being 81. But there's something we call fake stats, and in my opinion, I think it's kind of fake stats because their aggression is low, but his strength is still 81. But having the frame of a 6'2" player in this game, your strength automatically gets boosted because you're a biggity. Now he doesn't come off as the weakest player in the game as a left back, which is quite solid. But what about Zambrotta? He on the other hand has 90 strength, but has none of the playstyles, also being a 5'11" player. So that does shift his strength abilities to the lower end because he's not as tall. In this game, that's what just matters. I ain't gonna lie. So with the physicalities, Gareth Bale also has the aerial playstyle, so he can fly like a damn eagle, reach that ball and bobblehead it back to wherever you want the ball to go. So for physicalities, I'm actually gonna have to give it to Gareth Bale, despite Zambrotta's stats being higher, but it doesn't perform that way in the game for me. But in the case you do end up bodying one of these attackers towards your player and you have possession, you need to be able to pass it out wide or pass it close. Can they do that in the right way? Well, look here. Gareth Bale's got the whip pass, and that's about the only playstyles he has. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't notice many errors with him because his base passing ability is quite solid. And for in this game, most players, you don't need to have crazy passing playstyles if they're not in the midfield. In the midfield, you need the tiki-taka or the ping pass. Those type of things make it very helpful. But for a winger or a left back or for a fullback, you don't really need tiki-taka like that. You just need decent passes, unless you're a player that crosses, but it's not that effective this year. Zambrotta does have one playstyle higher than Gareth Bale when it comes to the passing ability with the long ball. They both have whip cross though. So in that case, I'll just end up giving it to Zambrotta, but there's not much of a difference for it to be significant. You get? Now, if you're able to get the passes through and you do like a 1-2 and your fullback is in the position to score the ball and put the ball into the back of the net like a madman, can you hit him with the finesse like Messi? Can you hit the trivela? All of that? Well, looky here. The type of shot you're most likely to get for a fullback is, now, if you're enjoying the video so far and you want to be a part of the community, join the Discord right here. Link in the description or link in the comments to become a part of the CVS. See you there. The type of shot you're most likely to get for a fullback is going to be the trivela. And I'll put it this way. We'll start off with Zambrotta. If you hit the trivela green timing, I believe it's perfect. That ish will fly into the back of the net. He only has 76 shooting though, because he is more defensive minded, as he does have the roles of fullback plus and wingback plus. The good thing is Gareth Bale also does have those as well. But when you hit the trivela with Gareth Bale, it's almost like you're using a damn striker. Shooting in the box, clinicality with the low driven playstyle with this guy. It is really not a comparison when it comes to comparing these cards in scoring the ball. So for shooting and clinicality ability, I'm gonna have to give that to Gareth Bale. Now let's talk about the dribbling ability. Can they do a little bit of that twist and turn to get out of certain situations that can be very dangerous for you? Well, looky here. We're gonna start off with Zambrotta. So he's not in the category of a biggity, so he should be able to dribble quite well, especially with his dribbling ability being a 90. But looky here, I found maybe it's his body type. He feels a little bit stiff on the ball sometimes, but it's still good enough to be able to dribble around your opponent to find the space to push up on the attack. But for Gareth Bale, he's a tall, biggity player, so his twisting and turning is also going to feel a little bit awkward sometimes. But in his case, it doesn't really matter because all you have to do really is do the L1 speed boost. Bait your opponent one way, speed boost into the space to get past them, and Bale is very great at that. I'm gonna tell you that for sure. You're gonna see it. But in general, for the dribbling ability, I'm still gonna give it to Zambrotta. Now, the thing that's quite important for a fullback is the defensive capability. Can they really take that ball from the opponent, put them on the ground, and leave them there like it's nothing then? Easy, right? Well, looky here. Zambrotta has higher defensive stats than Gareth Bale with 92. Playstyles of block, regular, don't come my cellular, intercept plus, as well as slide tackle with relentless Energizer Bunny so he can run for days. But looky here. I found that I didn't have any issues with Zambrotta when it comes to the defensive capabilities. He was able to intercept the ball, he was able to tackle. But there are a lot of times where you want that combination of being able to body a player and being able to tackle them. And Zambrotta was only on the more of the tackling side. And with him not having jockey, if you go against fast players that can really twist and turn, boost, it's a little bit easier to get past. And that was the case for Zambrotta. You can, if you have a player that's good at skilling, Zambrotta can have an issue for you when it comes to manually defending. And there will be moments where you need to, and he could possibly fail you. But what about Gareth Bale? Well, looky here. He's got the playstyle of Jockey Plus. Also has Energizer Bunny, regular, don't come my cellular. So he can still run for days as well with the Rapid Plus. On top of that, he has Anticipate. So now when you make the tackle of the pilota or the ball, it can actually have a higher chance of you keeping possession of the ball, not playing ping pong FC. And the ball goes from your player all the way to the parking lot, back to their player, to their striker, into the back of the net against you. You don't want that. I don't definitely want that. So you know what I'm saying? Anticipate is a very crucial play style for the most part in this game for your defender. And Bale has that. Despite having the lower stat with Gareth Bale of 90, I believe the combo of his play styles and his defensive abilities, I believe Gareth Bale has the better defense, even though he's more made to be an attacker or attacking wingback. So I'm giving that to Bale. But also, when we take into consideration of their weak foot, Bale has a 4-star skill, 4-star weak foot. Zambrotta has a 5-star weak foot. That's the difference. But I don't think it's too much of an issue. Now, some of the very crazy things about this card is that Gareth Bale is definitely more versatile because he can play striker as well for you, which I wouldn't 100% suggest. I do believe the left mid position is very dangerous for him as well because now not only can he attack, he also gives you defensive reinforcement to help you. Whereas Zambrotta, you're gonna have to keep him just more towards the defensive side. And the fact that that's his main thing and Gareth Bale still competes, if not is better than him in that, I definitely believe that currently Gareth Bale is cheaper than Zambrotta. Now they do both play on different sides, but Zambrotta can also play the left back as well. So if you're looking for the left back and you were thinking between the two, Gareth Bale is definitely better in my opinion, and you should select that card, and it's cheaper as well. But wait, if you want a card that can really be a game changer for you, find out if this card is that for you right here. Yeah.